Resident Evil 8 is a worthy successor to Resident Evil 7 in every single possible way. I'd actually liken it to being like the Resident Evil 4 of first person Resi games because it's like the old games but better in every single possible way, if you catch what I'm trying to say. Like Resident Evil 4 took the formula that was in Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 and gave it more action, more drama, more variety, a huge range of weapons, unique characters, and a very memorable experience, which makes RE4 one of the classics of its time. And honestly, Resident Evil 8 does the same for Resident Evil 7. It does the same thing with the same perspective, the same kind of combat system, but gives you a huge range of great weapons, memorable characters, fun boss fights. Yes, it does, Luna. I know. I'll get you some ham in a minute. As I was saying, Resident Evil 8 is great. I've loaded up a save. I didn't actually keep a save partway through the game to show off the combat, which would have been a more sensible thing to do, because I'm also currently dealing with a small cat. But yeah, I figured it'd just be a good opportunity to have a wander around the village and see if anything jumps out at us. I've got a decent array of weapons. Weapon customization is back in this one, and it's quite hefty. You've got both the ability to upgrade weapons with the actual just straight up numbers, like improving their cut capacity and stuff like that, but you also get the ability to add parts to them, which is really good. The attach case is back, and it's really great that you have the ability to be able to maneuver everything around. I played through on casual, so I'm pretty laden down with stuff at the moment, and I finished the game pretty laden down with stuff because I didn't need half of this stuff. I should have probably played through in standard. It would have been a more challenging time, but I also needed to make sure I finish the story before I go back to work next week. So, what did you say about it, really? It's good. It's great. I really enjoyed my time with this. I'm glad that I picked it up for full price. It took me about 9 hours to finish, and there is a lot of replay value to it, both between the fact that there's 3 standard difficulties, which have rewards for beating each of them, speed runs, challenge runs. There's an entire bonus shop that unlocks once you're finished with the game, like with Resident Evil 3 Remake, where you can unlock extra weapons, challenge modes. There's the Mercenaries mode. There's a lot of achievements to go for. So there's plenty of replay value to the game, which makes it a worthy full price purchase if you get me. There's also that RE-verse thing, but that's not actually out yet, so I don't really know how to. We can't talk about that. Unlike, say, Resistance, which was great. There's a decent amount of enemy variety. There's maybe 7 or 8 different main enemy types you fight throughout the game. Boss fights are fun, and there's a couple of them that will stick with me for sure. Pretty simple. Like, there's not really much question of like, oh no, what do I do to defeat this boss? But you know, that's most Resi games. It tends to be along the lines of shoot the giant eye or shoot the goalie bits. You know, there's a kind of open world structure to it, and it's like the classic Resi games, and it's a Metroidvania like. Like, you'll explore the environment, you'll find doors you can't open or things you can't interact with until you come back with a tool, and it'll mark it on your map, and then you're rewarded for going back and exploring these areas. Like, you'll find extra weapons, parts, treasures to sell for upgrades, or like foodstuffs to be able to actually cook meals to improve your basic stats, like your general health. The game is gorgeous. It's really, really nice. I played through it with ray tracing off just to make sure I got that locked 60. But when I do a replay of it to unlock some stuff, I intend on throwing ray tracing back on to see the difference. The sound design is great. The 3D audio with the PS Pulse that I have on is fantastic. Like, there were actually times in the game where I was able to pinpoint exactly where a bad guys were in the room ahead of me through the audio alone. And there's some really nice I don't want to call them next gen effects because after all the game is also on PS4, but there'd be things like there's a room filled with liquid and you can tell where bad guys are in the room from their movements and ripples in the water, stuff like that. So it's kind of everything there is to say about it. Like, I'm a little sad that I've loaded up a save game that has nothing to shoot because, you know, it's kind of hard to actually know when to load up a game save to be able to talk about this without also having spoilers for the story, because the story is quite out there. But yeah, I really liked it. If you want to see the combat, then I'll be streaming some of the Mercenaries after lunch, so feel free to join me for that. And it'll be on the channel if you're looking at this down the line. But yeah, I can wholeheartedly recommend buying this now. Like, this is a game that you'll get full value out of for your $60. €60 I paid for it anyway. Um, Even without the reverse stuff that'll be coming down the line. Like, I honestly expected that I'd be picking this up to try and finish it and trade it in as soon as I went back to work, but you know what? I think I might keep it for a while and do a couple extra runs of the story. Unlock some of those fun new toys. Thanks for watching.